In Thompson Bowling Arena, a place where the Lady Vols have won over 90% of their games today. Florida will try to chip into that record and pull off the upset right now. Tennessee is in a battle with Texas A&M to remain in second place in the SEC. Say hello, everyone. I'm Sam Gore. Honored today for this pinch me moment as I'm calling a Lady Vols game with Hall of Famer and Lady Vols legend Tamika Catchings. Tamika, I know you're high on the Lady Vols, but you're also very impressed with this Gator team, specifically two of their players.
Well, Sam, I just can't say enough about the dynamic duos that we're going to see today. Of course, you have two on the Tennessee side, you have two on the Florida side, but let's stay with Florida right now. Lavender Briggs, cannot say enough about it, but between Lavender Briggs and Kiki Smith on this Florida Gators team, they have put the team on their shoulders. They have tried to figure out ways to help bring the confidence and bring the win to the team. And of course, you'll see them in action. But on the flip side, on the Tennessee side, we will love and watch Renaya Davis and Ray Burrell, two players that have been phenomenal. When I look at just the two players on both sides of the court, from the Florida side and the Tennessee side, you'll see the numbers. One of the things that I appreciate the most, when you look at Burrell, when you look at Smith on the side, Renaya Davis and Lavender Briggs have been huge just in the production that they've had in the course of their career thus far. But Smith and Burrell this year are playing top of the line. Look at the numbers that they have. Super impressed with how they're playing, how they're shooting, and how they're leading their team.
Well, Tamika, you're crunching the numbers, but I'm looking at these four and anticipating a lot of highlights as they are dynamic, as you said, and they produce some spectacular plays. So settle in and enjoy this one. You're going to see some good playmaking today. So we are at the Summit inside Thompson Bowling Arena as we get ready to contest this SEC game. Tonders Tennessee on the opening possession. Huge height advantage in this game, and right away they go inside where paint touches will be huge today for the Lady Vols. And Florida answering right away. The outside shooting today will be important for Florida. It's a real contrast, don't you think, Tamika?
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's one of the things. I'm talking to both coaches just about what's going to be important tonight. For Tennessee, it is the paint touches. It's taking care of the ball on every possession. It's getting in the paint, getting those touches, and of course, getting the ball down low.
Key has both Tennessee baskets. Took that off of a missed shot. And our first look at Briggs had it rejected. It's going to be tough to get shots off inside for Florida with the Tennessee height advantage.
Yeah, and one thing we'll look at, though, with Florida, the thing that they'll focus on is they're going to keep attacking the basket. They're going to keep attacking the paint. The challenge for them has been, how do you play from one media timeout to the next media timeout? Play hard, play strong, play with confidence, and they're going to get some block shots. Tennessee, they're long, and that's the thing that every team that goes against Tennessee, that they realize, but you just have to keep attacking. Tennessee
survived against Ole Miss on Thursday. Ole Miss played Tennessee very tight. They were up by 13 in the first half. A three from Davis. Davis has been one of those players that just keeps getting better and better, as does Kiki Smith, who's leading the break. Smith with the runner. Are you kidding me? She made that, and the foul's on Horston.
Well, that's what Florida does well, and that's what Kiki Smith does well. She attacks the basket. You see Jordan Horston trying to stay in front of her. Just a little bit of a hand on the body, and Kiki Smith has been known all season long to do just that.
Smith, an excellent free throw shooter as well, so she could put Florida in the lead for the first time today, and does. Just one of those highlights I told you we were going to see.
Yeah, both teams have players to watch and players that strive to be on the next level. So the way that they played, the way that they picked up their intensity, going to be fun to watch in the upcoming years too.
Three on the way, off the front of the rim by Horston. This is Briggs, and that is not good news for Tennessee. If Briggs starts to get hot from outside, that changes things. She's already been SEC Player of the Week this year after scoring 41 against Arkansas. And Florida off to a good start.
And Briggs is only a sophomore. So we've seen what she could do last season, of course, but this season she stepped up her game even more. She's playing with a lot more confidence. Here we see her in the break handle the ball. She can take the pull-up jump shot. She can shoot the three. She's great on the free throw line. I mean, honestly, she's great at a lot of things.
We welcome you to the summit inside Thompson Bowling Arena, where Florida and Tennessee are underway here in the first quarter, and it has been lights out shooting by Florida to start this game. I'm Sam Gore, honored to be alongside former Lady Vol great and Basketball Hall of Famer Tamika Catchings, and Florida's come out shooting 4 of 6, Tamika, with 2 threes.
Well, that was the game plan, and we talked to the acting head coach, Kelly Ray Finley, and when she came in, she said, we have challenged our team to focus on smaller portions of the game, not necessarily to get beyond ourselves and look at the game as a whole, but break it up into smaller parts, and you can tell that this team is really fighting.
Florida is without its head coach, Cam Neubauer. This is the 3rd game in a row Kelly Finley has coached the Gators. He's been out because of COVID protocols. And they won last week, lost a heartbreaker against Missouri on Thursday. And I loved that she said the players keep coming up to her and congratulating her on responding when called upon, which is what she does to them.
Well, it's funny because that's what every coach says, right? When your number is called, you got to be ready. And we've seen injury after injury. We've seen people having to sit out with COVID, and different players have had to step up and they've had to come in and give quality minutes. So when your number is called, you step in, and there you see Coach Kelly Finley. You see her on the sideline, so she stepped up to the plate big time.
And we want to just apologize to her mother straight away. It wasn't our decision, but she told us, Mom, on the call that you like for us to say Kelly Ray Finley, but she prefers Kelly Finley. So we're going with the coach today. Smith with the runner again. That is the 2nd shot. It looked like she was well covered, and she's buried it.
That's a double team, double effort right there, and Smith just able to get it up and over Key's hands.
Lady Vols had their hands full against Ole Miss on Thursday. They trailed by 13 in the 2nd quarter and at halftime. So this is a familiar territory as Florida's come out hot. That's Jordan Walker's first bucket.
I think in any game, you look at it as being a 40-minute game, and for both of these teams, coming off of the last game they played, Tennessee obviously against Ole Miss and Florida against Mizzou, it's the mistakes that you make in the end of the game or the experience that you have to get through those games. And I think from an experience standpoint, Tennessee has been in a lot of close games that they've had to overcome. Mizzou against Florida, Mizzou had been in a lot of games. They were able to push through for that Florida game, but that's something that Coach Finley said is, hey, our team is still learning. We'll get that experience and we'll keep playing.
Florida struggled to make shots against Missouri on Thursday, and they have fixed that here in the early going. Briggs missing that one, but Briggs has already hit 2 3-pointers to start. And we should point out that Tennessee today is without the services of Marta Suarez, who's the current SEC Freshman of the Week. She has a bit of a foot injury, and we'll see if that impacts the Lady Vols. Briggs picks up the foul as she was guarding Burrell. What does Suarez's absence mean for Tennessee, Tamika?
Well, I mean, I think when you look at one of your starters, Freshman of the Week, like you just said, but a starter, somebody that this team relies on, definitely that. But when we talked to KJ, or Kelly Jolly Harper, sorry, when we talked to her the other day, she said our team has learned how to just keep playing through adversity. And even when they were dealing with COVID cases, the players would ask, like, what's next, okay? Like, let's not focus on this, what's next? And so your number, you go out, somebody else's number is called, and the next player comes in and they have an opportunity to play. That's what all young players need to learn. When your number is called, be ready to play, because you never know when an injury happens. During this time, you never know with COVID going on when you'll have to step up and play.
Another foul on Tennessee. And we'll have free throws when we come back to Thompson Bowling Arena. Florida is off to a hot start, hitting 5 of their first 10 shots, and lead the Lady Vols by 3. Well, you're looking at Kelly Jean Jolly Harper, and I'll tell you why I'm saying all of her names in just a moment. But obviously, Tamika, did you know that your former teammate, if she gets the Lady Vols to the tournament, looks like they're definitely going to do, she'll be only one of 2 coaches that has ever taken 4 programs to the NCAA tournament.
Well, do you expect anything less? I mean, you look at Kelly Jo, and I call her Kelly Jo KJ. When you look at KJ and you see all the things that she's been able to do, I mean, just impressive. Obviously, I had the opportunity to play with her, and amazing person, amazing teammate, all of that. But it's been super fun to watch her and just her development into the coaching side.
Jordan Merritt on the free throw line for Florida. And again, I told you all of her names because Tamika calls her KJ. But of course, right now her name's Kelly Harper. She and her husband, John, been married for many years, have children. John's actually on the staff here. And she said only a few people call her KJ, and Tamika's one of them.
And nice as long as she responds, right? Ray Burrell able to take the ball to the basket.
Fun being on the Zoom call with you two yesterday. Felt like a fly on the wall.
Could have gone on for hours, but we got to get ready for the game.
Smith, I tell you, she has already produced some outstanding plays, and we're only in the first quarter. Florida had as many fast break points as Tennessee had points coming out of that last timeout, and now they have a chance to continue to add to that.
Well, you can tell the energy that they're playing with, and you know, one thing that KJ challenged her team, and you know, I think for a lot of teams, in the SEC, you can never look at somebody's record because no matter what, any given night, any team can win. And so you don't look at the record. What you look at is you got to come out, you got to play for 40 minutes.
Good steal by Burrell. Salary, though, couldn't quite get the handle on it and make the shot.
And we'll take it back and look at that last play by Tennessee. Ray Burrell taking it in, and Kiki Smith, who you've been talking about, yet another impressive drive. That was the left-hand finish.
She has 9 points already. Over the last 5 games, she's been averaging 19 a game. Boom.
And Renaya Davis able to get that shot in the bucket. She struggled a little bit thus far. This is her first bucket. 2 points right now, 1 for 4 from shooting.
Davis, one of the best players in the nation. There's another lights out 3 by Briggs. She's one of my favorite players to watch, Tamika. I just love watching her score. 9 points already for her as well.
And let's just say this, she's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
Last year, she was very, I mean, just from a productive standpoint, and really like the player to watch from this Florida team. Kiki Smith has come out, and she's been able to do a lot, but it's the confidence that Briggs plays with. You look at, they go underneath the screen, she steps back and just nails the shot. Definitely got to have a hand up in her face.
Tennessee will be on the line. Tamari Key, she had the first 2 buckets for the Lady Vols today, and now on the free throw line, 63% shooter, makes it. And remember, the ACC Big 12 Challenge is going on. Our Big Monday games involve that. Duke squares off against Miami at 7 Eastern. Then we go to the Big 12 for the matchup of the night. Oklahoma taking on number 10 Texas Tech in Lubbock. That's our Big Monday lineup on ESPN and the app. Florida leading Tennessee 19-16. Should Tennessee win this game, they could briefly be tied with A&M for second in the SEC. And A&M has a big game today later against Georgia. So Tennessee back at the top of the SEC. Short for Walker.
And I love the pace of this game. I love how they're getting up and down that transition game. Florida trying to force Tennessee to play man-to-man. So the last possession.
Whoa!
Key gets the block. That is the thing, the length of this Tennessee Volunteers team. The way that they play, the length, they don't have to be right up on somebody because they have the long arms, they move their feet, they do all those things. But Florida keeping it going.
That's what I was going to say to me, because Smith takes another shot and makes it. Is on that last block. I mean, there was a lot of space. I'm sure Ricards thought she was open. Kiki Smith has put on a show here in the first quarter with 11 points. A high-scoring first quarter, 21-16, with 90 seconds to play in the opening quarter. And there's that height advantage. Wow. You can't teach 6'5".
And you can't teach when the bank is open. Key able to get it off the bank, off the backboard.
Did she mean to do it, Tamika? Come on.
I don't know.
It counts, though. Don't have to call it in a real game. Another block by Key as she rejects that out of bounds. She had 2 blocks against Ole Miss. Let's go back to that block.
And Key right there, you see how much space was in between. And then, of course, right here, nobody can box her out. Just being able to move her body just a little bit. People take a break right now, but I think the one thing we should talk about is just, one of the questions we had to KJ was your post players from last year compared to last year. This year they have stepped up and they have actually produced. She said, you know what? It's all about our players making sure to look inside, pass the ball inside. But you got Chris Kittiwah down low, you got Key down low. They're playing with a lot of confidence and they're being productive this year.
Briggs, long 3 as the shot clock expired. The other thing Kelly Harper is excited about is just the attitude of this team. She feels like they have a chemistry that could produce champions in the future. Salary off the bench. This is Walker on the drive, and she is fouled. Had 2 players on her. But Walker will go to the line with 25.6 seconds left to play. She's already graduated, gotten her undergrad degree from Western Michigan and is pursuing her MBA here at Tennessee. I think you'd be interested in this MBA, Tamika. It's in entrepreneurship and innovation. That's kind of the concentration she's focused on. You're an entrepreneur with your tea cafe that you have in Indianapolis.
That definitely would be a mentor for her and any of our athletes.
What is it about Tennessee and opening restaurants? You open TV Cafe. Davis wants to open a restaurant. And her master's getting that MBA in entrepreneurship and innovation. Closing seconds of the first quarter. 1 second left for Tennessee to get a shot off and try to tie or take the lead.
Tennessee will get the last opportunity with 1 second left. See what they can do with it.
That's what they do. Oh, no basket. So a good start for the Gators, and the Lady Vols down by 2 here at the end of the first quarter. Well, the woman synonymous with Lady Vols basketball and greatness, Pat Summitt. Her statue forever immortalizes the head coach here outside Thompson Bowling Arena, where the court is actually called the Summit in honor of Pat. But Pat would be pretty ticked off right now because 2 players would be beating her at the moment. Briggs and Smith have just gone off, Tamika.
Yeah, if both of them came in, really, they scored 20 out of 21 points. You see the numbers right there. And, what I appreciate the most is you watch Kiki Smith, and she has gone from one end to the other end. That transition, as she gets another steal, you see her going strong. And, of course, Briggs, stepping out, being able to knock down shots.
Tennessee trailing at halftime against Ole Miss on Thursday, and trailing after one quarter here. They did go on to beat Ole Miss. Tennessee could briefly be in a tie with A&M if they win this game today. At second place in the SEC, South Carolina in first. And it just could not buy a basket despite a lot of offensive rebounds.
Well, right now it's shooting 37% while Florida's shooting 40%. But I think the story really is the shot that Florida is getting, most of them being in the transition game.
And again, Smith finding a way to score for Florida.
One of the keys to the game that KJ talked about was taking care of the ball. And Tennessee right now with 4 turnovers, both teams with 4 turnovers. But there's a difference between a dead ball turnover and a live ball turnover. With Tennessee, the turnovers they've had as of late have led to fast break points.
And Florida, 12 fast break points. Tennessee's height advantage just has not been able to be a factor yet, except on the offensive glass, but they haven't been making shots. That'll make them feel better. As that is banked in by Kushkitawa.
Yeah, I think one of the big things for Tennessee is they got to get the ball down low. They're settling for jump shot and trying to take shots. And Key gets yet another block. Tennessee on the run, Ray Burrell.
Key with 4 blocks, but it doesn't lead to a score as Tennessee having trouble finding the bottom of the net. Ray Burrell thought she was going to have a layup here.
And Key, you see her length right there, hand straight up. Sometimes the space that she allows gives her more room to be able to operate and not get called for fouls by swiping down.
Key, one of the top shot blockers, obviously, in the SEC. Her mom was a volleyball player in college. Her dad played basketball both at Coastal Carolina, and she has a younger sister who's about to go play basketball for the Tar Heels. Nice inbounds pass. Salary scores off of it. Kelly Harper telling us she still runs some of the same inbounds passes that Pat taught her when she played. Smith. That's what the Lady Vols need, is to see Smith missing a few shots.
Yeah, but one thing we know is that she will keep shooting because she has to. And Key
look
gets
at
the
Key.
rebound. Yeah.
Key is doing work on the boards today. She's already got 10 rebounds as Briggs gets her own miss. And finally, Florida coming back down to earth a little bit in terms of shooting. They started so efficiently.
That's the thing, when you start focusing on that game, there's highs and lows during the game. You just got to try to weather those lows. You can play solid defense, and that's something that Coach Finley talked about. Kelly said, we want to try to make 3 defensive stops in a row and try to score 3 times in a row. Then one of the other goals was obviously taking care of the ball. Another one of the goals was making sure we play from one media timeout to the next media timeout. So breaking up a 40-minute game into smaller games to try to get the team and keep the team energized.
Key has been dominating on the boards, shot blocking, getting rebounds, making shots. Key with 8 points here in this opening half. This Florida team is hung tough. They're finally trailing because they haven't been making shots. Smith trying to reverse that, and all of a sudden Florida's gone cold shooting.
Well, Florida was able to do a lot in that transition game, and Tennessee has calmed down a little bit. They're getting some shots. They're getting the ball inside, getting some rebounds down low. That really helped them.
Davis turned the wrong way. Yeah, but there's the offensive rebound, and Kushkitawa cleans it up.
You're about to say she turned the wrong way.
Yeah.
Sam's got a little experience on the down, that post play right there.
There's Kittiwah with another rebound. Key again, this time misses. Smith leading the break. This is where Florida scored a lot. And knocks it in. So that ended an 8-0 run by Tennessee. And the Gators within 2.
Yeah, good patience right there by Smith. Saw the defense collapse back and took her time getting spread it out a little bit and then took it back in.
An underhand scoop shot denied. That was Salary. And a foul as Rainey was driving to the basket. So Rainey will be on the line when we return to Thompson Bowling Arena. Tennessee in front by 2. Well, Florida's made only one of its last 8 shots, and this is a big reason why. Tamari Key.
Tamari Key has come in and she has dominated tonight thus far. You see right there, you can't get in the paint without seeing Key hanging around, and she's come in, she's been focused tonight, and a really big key to this Tennessee being on top right now, 27-25.
Only 3 players have scored for Florida. Key with 8 points of her own. She comes into the game averaging 12 a game. And it's Danielle Rainey on the free throw line, transfer from TCU. Rebound, Chris Kittiwah. It's like saying her name. It's a fun name to say.
Practicing before the game right there. Oh, Renaya Davis right there.
Davis absolutely leveling Christina Moore from Sydney, Australia. And Moore has yet to get up. Renaya Davis, just 2 points so far.
And I was talking about Florida. You see right there, Renaya Davis catches her on the side of her body, so the awkward angle already.
And she didn't see it coming either. Has her face locked in on the defender.
Yeah. In that situation, glad to see Moore get up and walk off the floor. But that's part of her teammate too. When you see your player going to set a screen, you have got to scream as loud as you can that there's a screen coming. And for Christina Moore not to hear anything, I mean, it's not like that could have been prevented in a way if her teammate would have just given her a little bit of a heads up.
So Moore is on the bench now. She's a starter for the Gators. Remember, Florida's had trouble finding point production from anyone other than Smith and Briggs. Rainey driving, and misses the layup. Offensive rebound by Dutt. Smith. Fouled on the way to the basket.
We're going to go back and take another look at this screen. And got hit on it just a second ago, but teammates have got to make sure that you protect one another. And you'll see Moore on the sideline. Glad to see her up. Glad to see her go back to the table, and hopefully we'll see her back in the game.
Moore's a two-sport athlete at Florida. She is also on the track team. She throws the discus. Briggs trying to get loose, shot clock hitting 10, and she'll pull and nails it. Got hit on the arm by Burrell. So Briggs with a chance to pick up a 3-point play.
And the 2 players, Smith and Briggs, continue to dominate, but look at the patience right here. Briggs finds her sweet spot. Ray Burrell does hit her on the elbow, but to be able to finish a shot like that, stand strong, and see if she can get the and one.
Briggs coming off her 3rd double-double of the season, but she's had 11 straight games with 15 points or more. She's up to 11 today. Did not add to that total by missing the free throw. Oh, nice move inside. You like that, Tamika?
I love it because Kittle uses her body to post up in the beginning and then finish strong over deep.
On the drive, that was bobbled. Briggs, you know she's looking to shoot. That's a three. And off the mark, and a foul on the rebound.
There you go. Look at that post up right there. Cassie posting up strong over that right shoulder. Does a great job, and this is something that we talked earlier just about the confidence. The confidence that the post players have this year in particular with knowing, hey, our first option from the Tennessee standpoint, their first option is to get the ball down low. And so we need the post players, and this is what KJ said, we need the post players to post up so that we have a target. And I know she's got to be impressed with seeing her post players playing so strong and big this season.
Fouls on Farrell. Gives Tennessee the basketball here with just over 3 minutes to play in this opening half. Burrell with a step back. Nailed it.
It's interesting. You can see points in the paint, and right now 22 of Tennessee's points have been in the paint. So they're attacking the basket. They're getting in the paint right there, turning around and knocking down shots.
Briggs turns around and shoots. Burrell with a rebound. Lady Vols in transition. And from behind, a foul. As that is on Chang. Chang was trying to plead her case to no avail.
And she just brushed the left side. And definitely a foul.
Chang from Naples, Florida. She transferred from Miami. Now Burrell is fouled by Smith, going for the steal. Kiki Smith guards the team's best players. Fantastic defender, and we've already seen what she can do on the offensive end. Key back in for the Lady Vols.
When you watch some of these SEC teams, and looking at Florida in particular, talked about just how strong they started early on. And fresh legs, they got out, and they got on the board. They were doing a little bit of everything, right, between Briggs and Smith. They've got to find other players on the team to step up and knock down shots.
Kashketawa fouled. The common theme to me, because we've been doing these coaches calls the last 3 weeks, is the fact that the coaches feel like you need to have 3 go-to players. And Florida today has just had 2 go-to players, and it's not good enough in this league.
Well, you got a balanced attack from the Tennessee side, and they have 7 players out of the 9 players that have played that have already scored. Then you look at the other side, and you really have 2 players, Briggs and Smith, with majority of their points, and Merritt has 1 point. So they got to find somebody else that can get some, not just get some shots, make some shots.
It's getting physical out there. Burrell picking up that last foul. Seen a lot of fouls here in the last minute. Tennessee, a very good defensive team this year as well. Can't do that.
It's interesting when you look at that last possession. Key was not actually in position. She comes over, tried to get that block, but just her presence in the paint changes the shot in the air.
3 on the way is good by Jordan Walker. That's only her 9th 3-pointer of the season. And Walker knocked down, allowed the basket to be scored. And Florida within 4 here as we approach the 92nd mark in the second quarter. We're heading into halftime. Key again going to work down low.
When Tennessee's at their best, when they're attacking the paint, their post players are running the floor, they're knocking down those shots.
Key now with 10 points. And Key 10 points, 3 rebounds. A lot of blocks, 5 to be exact.
She just looks like another day at the office, right? She
is from Cary, North Carolina. 1:15 to play. This Lady Vols team's been doing a lot of leadership training this year. They're currently in a book club. They're reading The Coffee Bean by John Gordon as Burrell gets loose.
It's interesting because I feel like there's been a lot of coaches this year that have focused in on John Gordon books because a lot of them are about leadership. We just got through reading The Energy Bus, which is one of my favorite books by him. But The Coffee Bean, really the difference the coffee bean makes than being put into water. And I think when you look at this team, Coach KJ talked about, hey, the other day we skipped a film session to continue the book session because I felt like that's what our team needed. And so from that leadership standpoint, really being able to infuse your team with leadership qualities and bringing the team together.
Walker fouls Merritt. And what a different day it is when coaches have a book club session take priority over a film session. You wouldn't have heard of that many years ago, but today, as Kelly was telling us yesterday, players, she feels like this generation of players, they need that personal connection maybe more so than they did when she played, at least with the coaching staff.
Well, players don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And really being able to, you talk to coach, and that's something that they focus on is we want our players to know how much we care about them.
Merritt made the free throw. It gives us a chance to remind you of the Super Tuesday matchup we have for you on ESPN and the app at 7 Eastern, game of the night. Number 5 Texas hosting number 2 Baylor. Texas will be anxious to get the bad memories of a loss out of their minds. That is coming up on Tuesday. 6 points, Tennessee in front as we close out the first half here in Thompson-Boling Arena, a facility that the Lady Vols have won just over 90% of their games in. Our partner today, Tamika Catchings, was a big part of that winning percentage, as was the head coach of the Lady Vols, Kelly Harper, with 3 NCAA championships. Steele, Florida can try to score to end the half. Smith denied. Well, it was a very competitive first half as Renaya Davis only scored 2 points, but she didn't need to perform as the rest of the team, especially Key, picked her up. And Tennessee up by 6 at the halftime. We'll head into the studio. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. A little bit of a smoky day at the base of the Smoky Mountains here along the banks of the Tennessee River. It's basically Tennessee 38, Briggs and Smith 31, as that's what it feels like at least, whereas those two players really dominated for Florida in the first half. Sam Gore along with Tamika Catchings. Tamika, I mean, it was basically Briggs and Smith against Tennessee as they scored 28 of Florida's 31 points in the first half.
Yeah, Sam, and it definitely was a battle. We talked about the dynamic duo in the beginning, but the one difference that we've seen is the dynamic duo for Florida, yes. Tennessee team has come out and they've done it together collectively, but here you'll see Kiki Smith. One of the great things that Florida took advantage of early, Kiki Smith getting out, fast break points, putting her head down, getting to the key, making plays happen. And of course, on the Tennessee side, one of the players that came out and dominated, Tamara Key, 6 blocks right now as it stands at halftime, but just the poise, the confidence, knocking down shots, cleaning up the glass down low. That is what Tennessee has done so well. And you look at the numbers right now, Tennessee shooting the ball well. Florida in the first quarter was shooting lights out, but of course, you know, the game has progressed. They're shooting 32% right now.
Tennessee's so dominant in the paint. You think they'll score a fast break point before the game's over?
Well, Florida, I can say they've done a good job. They've on the defensive end, they're taking care of getting back, stopping transition points, keeping players in front of them. So we'll see. I don't know if that's really what Tennessee is focused on right now.
Tamari Key with the 6 blocks in the first half. Her career high is 7. The game started so well for Florida, and then they basically quit making shots. Florida started the game 7 of 12 and then finished 5 of 26, got outscored 24-12. So we'll see if both teams have made adjustments. When you're so reliant on those 2 players, Tamika, what do you say to your team at halftime if you're the coach Kelly Finley who's filling in for Cam Newbauer?
Well, I mean, I think you look at the score, 31-38, and really the difference is they've got to get more players stepping up and knocking down shots. They have to have other people produce.
Jump ball. So good hustle there by number 15, Nina Rickards from Queens, New York. Standout at Christ the King High School, which is same high school former Gator great Irving Walker played for.
Yeah, Nina Rickards, I mean, she's a slasher. She can score. She can get to the basket. There's a lot of great things that she can do. And, you know, when you look at Coach Newbauer and Coach Finley tonight, some of the players that they recruit, they have the athleticism. They have the skill set to do that. And I think the biggest thing that they've continued to do through Florida and just in, you know, having the conversations is to instill confidence in their players that other players can step up and knock down shots. As Lavender Briggs knocked down another jump shot.
And just made it look easy. Burrell going down is fouled before she can take the layup. Rickards got her. So Burrell will go to the line. That first basket, though, was Renaya Davis.
I don't think they called a foul. They called a block shot. So
just called it out of bounds. Yeah. And you saw 25 in white there. That was Horston saying she thought it was an intentional foul. Horston launches the 3, not good. There's that offensive rebound presence. But what I was going to ask you, Tamika, is Davis scoring on that first possession. Do you think that's by design for Tennessee to get her more involved because she did not perform as highly in the first half, only 2 points?
Well, I mean, I think the thing you got to look at with Tennessee is they have so many options that Jordan Horston stepped up and knocked down a shot, but they have so many options. So is it important for Renaya Davis to score? Yes, it's important for Renaya to score. But on the flip side, it's important for her to score within the flow of the offense and not have to force, which is what has happened in previous years. So I think, you know, Tennessee's at 42, sitting 42-33. Davis will get going.
Good steal, which led to Tennessee getting the ball. Jordan Horston had the steal. Koshkitawa. Lavender Briggs, she is just fun to watch with the basketball in her hands. Exciting things can happen. So a Florida team way better than their record.
And that's the thing about SEC play. You look at records and think that, you know, oh, so-and-so's record is what, you know, where it is. But every night when you have players like Briggs, I know you keep talking about Briggs. She's one of your favorite players to watch in the SEC. A young player that has continued to just excel. Last year we saw what she could do. This year it's been fun watching her continue to develop, and it's been a lot of fun watching Florida, even with Kiki Smith coming out of her shell and really, you know, really being able to perform.
Nice move by Burrell. Florida started the SEC 0-5. They picked up a couple of wins since then, but all 5 of those losses were to teams ranked in the top 25. If you look at their games against unranked teams this year, Florida's 9-2. Koshkitawa gives Tennessee its biggest lead of the day, which is an 11-point advantage here in the third quarter.
Now, Sam, we have to talk about that play because Koshkitawa going and in a fast break situation, getting the ball passed to her while she's running down the floor, able to control her body, take a dribble, and go up. That is something that has been developed this year. We can go back to last year and see the same play and her not be able to control her body, but that's the confidence that we're talking about. That's the deliberate, being intentional about making sure that the post players get those touches.
Yeah, it's been a dramatic improvement in the post. I mean, they have the height, but now that the skill is coming along with it. And Burrell's having a nice third quarter as well, as Florida back to an 11-point deficit.
I don't think we give Ray Burrell just enough credit. And one of the things when we were talking to Coach Harper yesterday, she was saying, you know, this is the first time in 6 years that Ray Burrell has had 2 years with one coach. So there's been a coaching change every year where she's had to learn new styles, new systems. And this year being able to be comfortable, 2 years, Coach KJ's second year, I think that, you know, we're starting to see what can happen.
Yeah, that was a shocking point that she made. I don't think any of us had realized that. But right now, I feel like I'm watching a game at a public park. I mean, they're just going down and letting them fly. I mean, this is fun.
I love the back and forth, up and down, and just the transition game.
So we will have a free throw here. Gives us a chance to remind you to watch True South tonight at 7 Eastern over on the SEC Network. We'll also have our latest episode as well. It's John T. Edge traveling around Phoenix City, Alabama, eating half weenies at the 14th Street Grill, and then checking out the jerk fried chicken at Rose's Caribbean in Columbus, Georgia. He'll also explore Fort Benning Army Base while he's there. True South presented by Yellowwood. So what do you think of this Lady Vols team, Tamika? Because they're generating a lot of excitement in Knoxville right now. People feel like that they're in the beginning stages of becoming great again.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Renaya Davis is obviously a senior, but I think when you look at Ray Burrell and what she's been able to do this year, and some of the other players, Tamara Key stepping up, because Kidda is a senior as well, but I think, you know, really it'll be interesting to see with the new ruling of seniors being able to come back for another year, what that will look like for each team, both Florida and Tennessee and a lot of the other teams in the SEC. Like, what will that look like? What will this class that's coming out look like? But I think when you look at just Tennessee team in particular, the way they move the ball, different players scoring. Right there you see Jordan Walker getting that shot, but we've seen that, the up and down flow, and we've seen players step up and knock down shots.
Smith scored on the last Florida possession as well. 9 points for Walker. A little scoop shot, that was nice. As Danielle Rainey underhands that in.
And here we are, this is the third quarter. That is the fourth player that has scored on this Florida team. So you have Smith at 19 points, you got Briggs with 17, Merritt has 5, and Rainey just scored for 2 points.
So the adjustment was made. Remember, it was in the first half, Briggs and Smith scoring 28 of the 31 Florida points. Steal. Walker. Oh, nice give. And Burrell misses the layup. Davis misses the follow. So Tennessee can't capitalize on good defense. And Briggs will bring it back out. Hadn't seen a lot of defense here in the third quarter. A lot of scoring, though.
Been a lot of up and down. And not to say that defense isn't relevant when you get there, but Key trying to come over to get her 7th block. And love seeing just how both players step up. Kiki Smith for 2, step in, knock down, of course, Renaya Davis to Walker. Tennessee up 54-43.
All right.
Tennessee getting a strong start in the second half from Ray Burrell, Tamika.
Yeah, Ray Burrell's come in, she put her head down, and she has literally done a little bit of everything. And I think the thing that's most impressive about her really is just how she is always in a scoring threat and being in scoring position. She's knocked down some shots from the outside. She's taking the ball, we just saw, directly into the paint. But I think even on the defensive end, she's really stepped up the intensity. You see right now, 15 points, 6 for 11, 4 rebounds. And she's a player that we have seen step up big time this year in particular. And we're seeing her score, we're seeing her develop even on the defensive end, and really being one of those go-to players for Tennessee.
She moves so well. She was a tremendous all-around athlete. She grew up playing soccer and was a high jump champion in track and field. Kiki Smith on the line now, Burrell from Las Vegas. And Smith just does everything well, except grow feet. a size 5 kid shoe. They have to order her shoes special. That's why if you look at her feet, they're different than all her teammates. The style of shoe is usually different because they can't get the regular shoes for Kiki.
Well, it's interesting that she's able to do all that she's able to do. But she stays solid, quick and light on her feet.
Yeah. Going down low, and Rennia Davis fouled. She'll go to the free throw line. Davis again with only 4 points, 2 of 8 shooting, but this will be her first trip to the free throw line. She does have 5 rebounds and a couple of assists.
That's what you talk about being an all-around player, though. When a lot of times when you look at players, in particular, you got big name players and you expect them to score. Not that you don't expect the Davis to score, but she still makes other things happen on the floor. Even her presence on the floor makes teams have to guard her and have to throw 1 or 2 people at her in certain situations. So for her development this year, I think, has been she is not forcing as many shots as she has in previous years. And the players around her are doing what they need to do, so that helps.
She's a champion in the classroom as well. She's already gotten her undergrad degree and is pursuing a master's degree right now. She hopes to open her own restaurant one day after a successful WNBA career. A lot of drafts have her going very high, a lot of the mock drafts. Davis in on that play as well from Jacksonville, Florida.
The dynamic duo that we talked about earlier in the game with Rennia Davis and Ray Burrell on the Tennessee side and Kiki Smith and Lavender Briggs. One of the things that both coaches talked about was really wanting to have an opportunity to play post-college, and whether that's in the WNBA or just being a professional basketball player. So the mindset, the development, the focus, the film sessions have the level that the 4 of them have really been at has been increased.
Burrell on the bench right now, and one player we will not see the remainder of the game is Florida's Christina Moore, who went down after colliding with Burrell on a screen in the first half. Her sports information or media relations contact Sam Stoltz telling me that she will not be back in the game. Good job by both of our media relations contacts to keep us informed. Eric Trainer always does a fantastic job at Tennessee as well, and we're honored to have Freddie Kiger on stats today, so we're in good hands, Tamika.
Yes, we are. They are the people that help us do our job and be the best at them.
Eric Trainer. Well, I knew doing a game with you I was going to get royal treatment this year, so I'm just riding your coattails when we do Tennessee games.
It's a team effort, Sam. It is a team effort.
3 launched by Briggs. She had to put it up, and that is a costly rebound for Tennessee. Is an offensive rebound by Florida. Briggs going to jack it up again, and this time she buries it. There's no conscience when you're a shooter, is there?
Just got to keep shooting, and Lavender Briggs knows why she is on the floor. She was on the floor. Of course, she wanted to play defense. That's part of the game. But this Florida team, they need her to score.
She's got 20, and now Davis with a strong shot underneath. Good pass as well by Walker. And Rennia Davis has come to life here in the second half. She's got 8 points, had 2 at halftime. Smith. A nice rebound and stick back by Toonders, the player from the Netherlands who's just a freshman.
I'm going to look again at Rennia Davis, but this is what you need to watch. Toonders down there, nobody boxes her out. The ball just dropped in her hand, but get that rebound, get to the free throw line. complete the three-point play.
Tonders is a 6'4" freshman from the Netherlands. She's coming off a career-high 13 rebounds against Missouri, but she aspires to play professionally in Europe. But this is one thing I've never said, Tamika. She wants to become a neuroscientist. Never met anyone who wanted to become a neuroscientist. I'm lucky I can say that.
There's a lot of them out there, Sam. There's a lot of them.
I mean, the academic achievements on both of these benches is phenomenal. Tonders said wants to play pro basketball and then become a neuroscientist. Go for it.
Why not? And I think that sometimes we forget that being a student athlete, the student's first, right? So really being able to take care of business from the academic end. And believe it or not, I think I'm a testament that basketball does stop. And there is life beyond basketball. So, you know, you can achieve multiple dreams, and it's cool to have somebody. As Briggs knocks down another three, and Tennessee is now only up by 4. At one point they were up by 11. So Florida's going to keep playing hard.
Briggs with 5 3-pointers today, 23 points in total. And Tennessee needs to respond here. 3 on the way. And the ball's going to go to Florida. Chris Kittiwa was battling for the rebound, and Kelly Harper is furious over that call. She felt like it was off on Tonders.
Yeah,
and she's also mad at the box out. Yeah, box out.
That was a Pat look right there. Oh, man, I remember those days. Tennessee, I don't think that they've done a good job this third quarter. And maybe it's from Florida's standpoint, they've increased the intensity on the board.
Smith misses the 3. Well, keep in mind, Tennessee had an 11-point lead at one moment. And now the Gators have clawed and chomped their way back to within 4. Smith and Briggs continue to put on a show. I got something fun for you to do tonight. Tonight at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific on ESPN and the app. X Games wraps up from Aspen with men's snowboard super pipe, men's snowboard big air, and Wendy's ski knuckle huck. The knuckle huck's competition that allows for and encourages a flair style. It's at the heart of snowboarding. So watch that tonight. And we have started the fourth quarter where all of a sudden Florida has made this very interesting as Briggs and Smith again have put the team on their shoulders and brought the Gators back to within 4.
They have not only put on a show tonight, just the two of them, but you're starting to see the third quarter. We saw some other players step in and knock down some shots. So the confidence that you have there. And they've been getting on the board. Tennessee dominated the first half and did not dominate the second half.
Well, there they are getting on the boards, and after the second offensive rebound, Chris Kittiwa scores. And that's just something that Florida's had a tough time dealing with. It's been a big difference maker in this game.
We call that right there, Sam, padding our stat lines where they're playing volleyball while on the court.
Well, that was a good block out that time by Coach Kittiwa. You heard Kelly Harper earlier screaming to block out. Smith and Briggs, man, what a dynamic duo. That fits them perfectly today, as they've pretty much been responsible for just about all of Florida's offense.
Smith with 21 points right now. Briggs with 23 points from that side. And then, of course, you know, on the dynamic duo standpoint, Renaya Davis for Tennessee with 8 and Ray Burrell with 15. But Tamari Key has really stepped into a role, sitting with 16 points.
For Florida, only 3 other players have scored, and each of those players has only made 1 basket. Kind of gives you an idea of what Florida's been doing today behind those 2. Burrell could not get the rebound. Smith on the break, she'll take it. And off the back of the rim, that's usually going to be good for Kiki Smith.
That's definitely a great shot for Kiki Smith, because Key is going to get called for that foul, trying to be a little bit too aggressive down low, but good for the team. She only had 2 fouls thus far. Might be called for her third.
I thought you told me that Kelly Harper was such a quiet player. And,
I never said that.
She told us yesterday she only yelled at her teammates one time when she was at Tennessee in the midst of winning those championships as the point guard. You want to tell that story?
You know, it's interesting because KJ was the extension of Pat Summitt. And so for most coaches, what you want is that you want your leader that's on the floor to be an extension of who your head coach is. And you look at KJ and the way she has that fire, she has that passion, she has what Pat had, and it's fun to watch her, especially now being back and her husband John by her side, and the family. I just remember us as a family. Tyler Summitt on the sideline, RB. The good days that we had all together.
Rainey knocks down the 3 for Florida, and the Gators are within 3 points of the Lady Vols. And that is short for Davis, and Florida can tie if they make a 3. That's who they want to take it, Briggs, and off the mark.
Briggs thought about it for a second.
Yeah, I can't believe she didn't take it.
I like the patience, though. I like the way Florida's playing. They've come up in the third quarter and started in the third quarter, now into the fourth quarter. They've stepped up their game, the intensity that they played. And a team like Florida, I look around, I look at Florida, I look at Ole Miss in the game, Mizzou today against Kentucky. There are teams and all of the teams that play hard for 40 minutes and they never go away.
Smith brings the Gators within 1. Florida's been getting better and better. They beat Ole Miss last week, had a chance to beat Missouri on Thursday, and right now looking for their first ranked win since last February, within 1 at Tennessee.
No matter which shade of blue you bleed.
This rivalry is the very best that college basketball has to offer.
Let me remind everyone, next Saturday at 6, that's when Carolina and Duke square off. And Tamika, I know I drive you crazy because I'm a North Carolina grad, and Kelly Harper coached at North Carolina State. So we're on the call with her yesterday, and I just brought up the fact that I went to North Carolina, and before I could get a word out, she's going, boo! she's booing me on a conference call because I went to North Carolina. So
with a smile, Sam.
Oh man, a lot of fun. It is good to see her doing so well. Again, if she gets Tennessee to the NCAA tournament this year, she will be in a rare air of college coaches that have taken 4 teams to the NCAA tournament, as she did it at Western Carolina, NC State, and Missouri State. And I love how you described her earlier as an extension of Pat. I don't think there could be any higher compliment for her.
And KJ just continues to develop her own style as a coach, but a lot of that and a lot of the things that we see, or that I see rather, I saw it even when we played together, way back when we played together. The wide eyes, anything Pat said, or anytime we had something that we needed to do as a team, I just remember Kelly being our leader, fearless leader. And yeah, it's great to just see how well she's doing.
Nice inbounds pass as Davis caught it in midair and easily put it in.
Now I want to go back a little bit, Sam, because you're talking about the Duke-North Carolina matchup. And not that I'm with either one, but now that one of my other teammates, the head coach at Duke, I'm going to have to say that wherever K-Law goes, Kara Lawson, that is.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm your teammate every Sunday. That doesn't count?
Yeah, we just need a little bit more time together. That's
okay,
all.
All right.
We're just on Sunday.
Yeah, we're too virtual. Too virtual right now. Tennessee struggling to put Florida away. The Gators still in position to try to pull off the upset. They haven't had a road win over a ranked team since last February against Kentucky. And Tennessee's trying to stay up at the top of the SEC. Texas A&M plays Georgia today, but right now Tennessee is 5-1. A&M is 6-1 in SEC play. And the Gators, one of those teams to keep your eye on. They are dangerous. Inbounds play so good for Tennessee. Key, the beneficiary of that ricochet.
Yeah, Tennessee's trying to figure out, and this might be the time when you look at a Renaya Davis, great feed to Tamari Key down low. But Renaya Davis steps up and makes some plays happen.
Key with another block.
Number 8.
The career high is 9, and Burrell continues to slash through the defense and scores to push the lead up to 7.
I love it right here. Renaya Davis, the tack to Key in perfect position, but then she comes down on the flip side. Block number 8 tonight. It's been active all around the paint, protecting the basket. She is definitely the protector of the basket. So it's been great. Tennessee up 66-59 on a nice little run. We'll see what Florida comes back with when we come back.
Not just basketball coach, Pat Summitt, 8 national titles here at Tennessee, and perhaps one of the best teams of all time, if not the best team of all time, featured this woman on the left, Tamika Catchings, who I'm honored to be working with today, and Kelly Harper. And talk about this team, Tamika. Wow, what a run you guys had that year.
Man, to go back and even just thinking about 1998, hey, we're like super old. That was my freshman year in college, but you know, the thing I remember just, KJ, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, just how fierce we were. But I remember the biggest thing was practice. Our practices were so hard that by the time we got to the games, and when I say hard, I mean like blood, I mean elbows, all out, all in, every day. And by the time we got to the games were easier than the practices. And you know, KJ talked about the Punisher. 30 points per game, and that was kind of like we kept going. We never took our foot off the gas, which I think in teams in this generation, we haven't seen many of that, especially for the last couple of years.
No punishers in this generation?
No punishers.
Well, normally Thompson Bowling Arena is always packed for Lady Vols games, but that year you guys averaged almost 15,000 per game. And this is a program that is covered year-round. I mean, it'll be in mid-July, and I'll get a news article about something happening within the Lady Vols program. That 1998 banner is the one that we were focused on, but Kelly, she actually was part of 3 NCAA championship teams when she played under Pat.
So you talk about winning a championship. I want to be coached by somebody that's won a championship. I want to be around people that have a championship mentality. And, you know, sometimes that's not to say having a championship mentality means that you have to have one. But when you've won and you know what it takes to get there, you're constantly trying to figure out the pieces and the players. And, you know, I think Kelly, when you look at the players that she brought in and how well they're playing and gelling and mixing this year from last year, she's on her way to building something special.
Well, she said she wants everyone on the court to be passionate about winning national championships, which is something else she got from Pat. And one of my favorite things about Pat, Tamika, is, I know you know firsthand, is just how when Pat Summitt talked to you, she made you feel like you were the most important person in the world at that moment. And I get that feeling with Kelly as well. She is so good with the media and the fans and has just kind of seamlessly transitioned into this pressure-filled role.
Yeah, and the classiness that Pat had when she talked to people, no matter what. That's the thing that KJ talked about. That's the thing that when she walked in a room, and you're right, when she talked to anybody, it didn't matter what walk of life you were in, she gave you that time. And KJ is all locked in. When you talk to her, she is locked into you. Even with 50 million things going on all around, she's committed in that moment.
Key, who's had a fantastic game, knocks it in, and she's got 20 points. She's one away from her career high in blocks. And now with 20 points scoring. And there's a three by Farrell. Florida will not go away.
Well, there's plenty of time left in this game, 3 minutes, and the way Briggs has been shooting the ball and Smith has been shooting the ball, now to have other players step up and knock down shots, and it just takes a little bit.
A nice pass, and Key will go to the free throw line. And we talked earlier about how you have to step up when your number's called, and remember, they are without Marta Suarez, so maybe that's opened things up a little bit for Key today. I don't know, but Key certainly has stepped up today and produced big.
It's the aggressiveness and the aggressiveness that you want your post players to have, not just when one player is out, but this is something that they have to keep and continue.
Well, our ACC Big 12 Big Monday continues on Monday, obviously. Duke and Miami will be playing. That's the first game at 7 Eastern, into the Big 12 for Oklahoma and Texas Tech. That'll be a good one. It's probably the big game of the night. It's our ACC Big 12 Big Monday. Florida trailing Tennessee by 9 here in Knoxville. Tennessee trying to get to 6-1 in the SEC. Charlie Cream right now is projected 8 SEC teams making the NCAA tournament, which is the most of any conference in the country. This conference has produced 9 NCAA championships, 12 runner-up finishes, and has made a nation-leading 38 Final Fours. This is the cream of the crop traditionally in college basketball as a conference.
And it just keeps on going, Sam. Just keeps on going.
Top to bottom in the SEC this year, it is fantastic depth. Briggs misses the three, but an offensive rebound. Farrell, who buried one a moment ago, misses. Smith with a steal against Key. And Key gets another block. That should tie her career high of 9.
I love, and first off, Smith being able to take it in. That's how she started the game, attacking the basket at all times. But Tamari Key uses her length, backs up enough to get her hands straight up and get that block.
Florida looking to eat into that 9-point deficit, and there's a block by Horston. Up the floor, and an easy finish for Renaya Davis.
Renaya Davis now in double figures, and she's had a complete game tonight. Quiet early on, but she's definitely stepped up as of late. As Florida buries another three.
Yeah, Farrell now with a couple of three-pointers. And again, Florida continues to be a threat here, but are running out of time. 1:45 left in regulation. Key going to work down low and finishes. Key with 23 points.
Great high-low pass by Chris Kittlewell.
Smith, offensive foul as Burrell takes the charge. This was a career high for Key, by the way, with this basket.
Good, great setup down low, but Chris Kittlewell really is the one that set it up. She saw out of the corner of her eye she was getting a pass. Key was already posting up.
Key with a career high in points. She's tied her career high in blocks. 90 seconds left to play here in the fourth quarter. Tennessee with a 10-point lead. South Carolina in first place in the SEC. A&M in second, just a half game ahead of Tennessee as Davis tries to bury this game. Tennessee very much in the hunt for the SEC title this year. And that is good effort by Tonders, but it was knocked out of bounds as Davis continues to play much more aggressively this season. I heard her on a call, or I heard one of the local media on the call with Kelly Harper this week, and She said that a lot of times that Davis just quietly picks up a very solid stat sheet.
Yeah, I mean, we see it tonight. Very quiet at one point in time. Right when we started the third quarter, Davis, we were talking about just, Davis is quiet. She had some stats, but hadn't really stepped up. But some of the reason is you got other players that are stepping in, they're knocking down shots, making big plays. Ray Burrell has been huge tonight now with 21 points, shooting 8 for 16. You got players on the floor that are doing that. You got Key down low, Chris Kittewa down low. I mean, when players are playing like that, and Key with 10 blocks.
Career high. So
Just
she's
up
got
there
a
swinging.
career high for Key today in points and blocks. And Tennessee will hold the ball and go on to victory as the Lady Vols now extend their win streak to 5 games. And more importantly, move into a tie with Texas A&M in second place in the SEC. But again, A&M plays Georgia later today. Your thoughts, Tamika?
My thoughts are Key right now. Triple-double, 23 points, 10 rebounds, 10 blocks. Tennessee wins this game.
Tamari Key, the player of the game for sure for Tennessee. The Lady Vols win it 79-65, as Kelly Harper's got to be proud of this group. So I'd like for this to keep going. Fun working with Tamika Catchings today. I'm Sam Gore. Thanks for joining us, everyone. And thanks for everyone behind the scenes that made this such a good show. Good afternoon, everyone. So long from Knoxville.